All right. All right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Am I live? Please let me know if I'm live if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. I missed y'all so much. Oh, so much is going on. So much is going on. So much is going on. All right. Let me see if I can. Let me do this. Let me do this. All right. All right. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Let me see who was here first. Empress, hey girl. How you doing? How you doing? Okay. Uh-huh. Sexy RN. Uh-huh. Here being nosy. Y'all, I'm getting my life together. Sleepy B, I was up your way yesterday. Up your way yesterday for a 5-hour ordeal dealing with going to the dentist. Yes, 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 yes. My dentist is up that way. So I was near you yesterday. Hey, S. Smith and Wesson. Hey, girl. How you doing? Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Kevin. How are you? I hope you are well. Emperor said, we got to talk. Girl, what we got to talk about? What we got to talk about? Listen, I'm getting my life together because I'm heading out. I'm on a flight tomorrow. Y'all know I'm always gone, but I'm on a flight tomorrow and I'm gone tomorrow. I won't be back home until Sunday. Um, but yeah, I'm on a flight tomorrow and we just got back from LA last Saturday and just turn back around and I'm on a flight tomorrow. This is the time of year when my schedule changes very, very frequently from day to day. Half the time, I don't know what's going on unless it's like a scheduled client. My days are completely different every day. So forgive me if sometimes you all don't see me, but this is the time of year when my travel starts to pick up. So I am on a flight tomorrow. Be back late Sunday night. I may or may not be going to SoCal again next week. And then I will be in Tampa. Um, be in Tampa next month for a few days. From Tampa, swinging through to Atlanta. Uh huh. To hang out with my line sisters, my sorority sisters, for our anniversary. Uh huh. And then after that, I don't know, maybe New York. I'm not sure. Maybe New York. And then I am in Vegas this summer for the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated International Conference, also known as Boulé. So I already have my flight to Vegas. I already have my hotel for Vegas. Um, I know that Nyla, Fuzzy, and I are definitely getting together in Vegas. A time will be had while I'm in Vegas. So, like I said, this is the time of year when my travel picks up. I may or may not be going to Korea between August and September. May or may not be going to Korea. So getting my life together, and then definitely maybe St. Croix in September, and then definitely back to Cancun in December. So, like I said, this is just the time of year where my travel just picks up. Well, my travel just picks up. So yes, I hope all is good on your end, Kevin. Yes, yes, yes. Go on and ask the question, girl. Ask the question. Uh-huh. Go on and ask the question. What's your question? What's your question? Meanwhile, I'm going to be studying for I am taking a really expensive certification class in between all of this. So I will be studying for this for said certification. Mm-hmm. I will be studying for said certification, and the class is expensive. Just thankful that I have the money for this class. So it's a lot going on in my life. But what's your question, girl? What's your question? Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely busy. Let me tell you all. Okay, so real quick, remember when we talked about whether or not you need help learning the basics of magic or you don't know magic at all? That class has been scheduled. Okay, the learning basic magic class has been scheduled. It is going to be Sunday, May 20. Holy yeah. Yeah, it's going to be Sunday, May 24th. Okay. Sunday, May 24th at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, California time, 3 o'clock p.m. No, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Okay. It is going to be a 4-hour class. Okay. A 4-hour class. I am going to be teaching magical theory, cleansing basics, protection basics, how to word your petition, candle magic basics, magical timing, correspondences, and more. Okay. I'm also going to be teaching how to properly dispose of your spell working remnants. Okay. I'm going to be teaching all of those things. And by the time you finish that 4-hour class, you should be able to do something. Okay. You should be able to write you a good petition. You should be able to fix your candles. You should be able to do, you should know. You should know basic cleansing. You should know basic protection. Okay, I'll give you all a few recipes to help you all out during this class. The class is $50. It's literally $12 an hour. It's really not that much. And I know that's relative because different people are in different financial categories, and I'm not counting anybody's money. But the class is $50. So if you want to get in on that, go ahead and sign up for it now. Sign up for it at your earliest convenience. Okay? Because the class will close 2 days before the class. The class will close for signing up on May 22nd. Okay? So go ahead and okay? Go if that's what you need, okay? And it's a bunch of other stuff that's in the class that I'm going to be teaching that I have not specified because you'll find out when you're in there. But listen, if that's what you need, go ahead and get in class. Okay. Yes, Kevin Correa. Correa. Uh Correa. Okay, girl. Well, please be safe in the car. Be safe. Okay, you in Vegas too? You in Vegas? Listen, I gotta ask Nyla if she want to do a meetup or something in Vegas while I'm there. But if you live in Vegas, please be ready because it's probably gonna be 20,000 of us as far as AKA sorority goes that will be descending on Las Vegas for that week. I'm going to be in Vegas from Sunday. What is it? Sunday to let me pull up my flight because I can look at my flight. Okay. So my trips. Okay. I'm gonna be in Vegas Sunday, July 19th, and I am leaving coming back to California on Friday, July 24th. I don't know if Nyla wants to do some type of meetup or something. If I deem you are safe enough for you to know my identity, then I will let y'all know and I will say hi. This might be the first and only time I say hi to people. Okay. Um, because too many nosy weirdos out here. Okay. So yeah. Okay. He said St. Croix bring me some wine back. What kind of wine, girl? What kind of wine? What kind of wine? Um, yes, I will repeat the dates again. Okay. So the class is Sunday, May 24th. Sunday, May 24th, 2026 at 1 o'clock p.m. California time. It will be a 4-hour class. You will need a notebook. You will need a notebook. So if you have not gotten your spiritual workbook yet, you need to then you need to do that. Okay? Then you need to do that. If you have not gotten a spiritual workbook, that's going to be your spiritual workbook, your spell book, aka your grimoire. Okay? Y'all know the old school word grimoire. Then you need to get one for the class. You will need that notebook and you will need a pen or a pencil. I expect everyone to be taking copious notes and asking all of the questions because I'm doing this because I want all of my loves to know some type of magic, to be able to confidently do some type of magic to combat whatever it is that's going on in your life. Okay? Whatever it is that's going on in your life, because I don't want you to be out here raw dogging life. Okay. Without some without some help. Okay. But this was my post from 2 days ago. Okay. You can join the class now. Okay. Okay, my beloveds. Has everybody got it? Oh Lord. Okay, let me bookmark this. Bookmark this tab. Okay, yeah, and I'm getting my life together because I have to go run some errands after this. So, okay. Is everybody good? Everybody got it? Okay. Let me hold on one second. Hold on. Always being weird. Okay, go back to my post from 2 days ago. It has the link to sign up. It has the link to sign up. Okay. Okay, let me get rid of this. Closing a bunch of stuff out. All right, y'all. Okay. And she talk about bring some wine, girl. She said Sleepy B signed up for the and more. I'm gonna be showing y'all a couple tricks and stuff. Showing y'all a couple tricks, things I've mentioned before, but things I've mentioned before, but I need for you all to clock in. The warlocks are everywhere. Okay. Yeah, somebody who's a moderator, go to my post from 2 days ago and put the link in the chat so people can just click it and sign up for the class. It's gonna be 4 hours. So make sure you have your snack, your tea, Like I said, you're a book, you're a pen, I'm gonna be teaching you, so you all should. Okay, okay. Know what you talking about? Sleepy B, you a mod? Are you not a mod? Sleepy B, you're a mod, and Kevin is a mod. Yeah, let me go over here real quick. Um, let me just click on my thing over here. Okay, thing over here. Okay, let me click my. Yeah, Sleepy B, you are a moderator. Empress is a moderator. Is it going to be pre-recorded? It's going to be recorded. It will be live. It's going to be through Zoom. It's going to be live and through Zoom. So it will be recorded. Okay. What you mean no? What that mean? How you not a mod? Okay, well, sleep. I could have sworn you were. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Talking about she ain't no mod. Okay. All right, y'all. So I don't have too much time. Um, and yes. What you mean? Why are y'all not moderators? This is weird. YouTube is removing people because like I swear like y'all were some moderators. So okay. So you know me. Okay. Yeah, y'all were moderators before. YouTube is doing weird shit. So it's just like, this is weird. Why? Yeah, because I know YouTube is removing people because I had y'all as moderators. So yeah. Okay. All right. Not YouTube cursing me. Don't say that. Don't say that. But yeah, that's the post. That is the post for anyone who needs to go back and get the class link. Okay. Like I said, this is literally is 4 hours. I will be giving you all the tea, the spiritual tea on things, a few recipes, not my personal recipes, but some recipes that I have adapted from my personal recipes that you all can have to mix like herbal things together for yourselves. Um, some of that is still like on my Patreon, but just come join the class if you're ready. Okay. Some okay, it's probably going. Now y'all know I've given out spiritual recipes before. Like if you go back to my Jupiter in Taurus video from like 2024, there was a money drawing recipe in there. If you go back through my spiritual baths playlist, I give recipes for a few spiritual baths in there. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm gonna be going through some things, going through all the info. You should be able to confidently write a petition. Okay, choosing your words correctly. You should be able to choose which day and time is best for you. Magical timing to do some work. Write your petitions, magical timing, cleansing, protection. Because again, y'all should not be out here raw dogging life. Y'all should not be out here raw dogging life. Okay. Hey boo. Hey D Dub. Be safe. You said someone. Okay, so that's what I'm just like. I know, like y'all were like moderators, like because that's only for people who come through and who always come through. Okay, so let me get out of here. Okay, so what is happening? Let me refresh this because yeah, I'm clicking on stuff in here and it's not showing stuff. This is hella weird. Okay. Mm, yeah, YouTube is being really weird because growing process, you're a moderator, and I'm looking at you, and it says that you're a moderator, growing process. So I don't know what's going on. YouTube and shit out here being weird, but it's a bunch of weird shit going on. It's a bunch of weird shit going on. It is a bunch of weird shit going on. Okay, let me bring this back up. What do you mean you're not a mod? Hold the fuck up. Yes, ma'am. Y'all need to go check because those of you who said you were not mods, like, and I know you were mods, like, go back and check because I'm re-adding y'all as mods. Now, Empress girl. Um, hey, Miss Anonymous. Hey, girl. Yeah, that's so fucking weird. Okay, I'm just adding people back in. I'm just adding people back in because this is weird as hell. Okay, Empress, you blue now. You blue. You blue. Okay, let me hit live chat. You leave YouTube because y'all know I was on my okay, let me do this. Let me try this again. Okay. Y'all know I was on my that's what I'm saying. YouTube is being freaking weird. I could have swore y'all were moderators. YouTube is being super weird. Super, super weird. Okay. So let me see something. Super weird. Okay. I think I okay. 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 I'm showing y'all is blue. I'm showing y'all is blue. So Empress, growing process, Kevin, Empress, Miss Anonymous. Okay. All right, y'all. All right. So yeah, YouTube is being fucking weird. Okay, we need to get into this real quick. Um, all right. Today I wanted to cover something. There is so much going on. Yeah, YouTube is being weird because y'all were moderators. But okay, there is so much going on here. I do not have time to specifically break down everything that is going. I don't have time today. Like I said, I have to finish cleaning. Just need to sweep and mop and wash my hair and finish packing um before this flight tomorrow. Um I don't have time to break everything down, but there has been a lot going on, but I wanted to um let me make sure I bookmark this page. I wanted to talk about just with everything going on. People like to say um people like to say oh, if I would have known, if I would have known, I would have shit. I just did that wrong. If I would have known, I would have whatever, whatever, whatever. And I find that a lot of people um I don't want to say they lie when they say that they really want to know what potentially the future holds. But you know, so some of y'all be out here capping. And it's not necessarily y'all. It's not y'all like you all here because y'all roll with me. Y'all roll with me and y'all know I have been right about a lot of different things over the years as I have been, you know, doing my predictions, you know, stuff, astrology, you know, stuff like that. So let me just say, and this is what we're going to talk about today. This is something that I came across last year, but I didn't know if I ever wanted to speak about it. I didn't know if I wanted to speak about it. But this is something that I came across last year. And, you know, when I came across it, I said, let me put this back in my pocket because one day in the future, we are going to talk about it. And we are going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about some prediction. It was a prediction that was made 20 years ago. 20 years ago. So do me a favor, like the video, like and describe. Do me a favor, like the video. Let me run. I need a quick bio break. So let me run, have a bio break real quick. I'll be back in a couple of moments. Talk amongst yourselves, and we're going to review something that was 20 years in the making, a 20-year-old prediction. All right, so I will be right back, right back. All right, my beloveds, let's get into it. All right. All right, you still with me? Everyone still with me? All right. Okay, let me share my screen. And maybe you have seen this, maybe you haven't. But you know, maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't. Let me make myself smaller. All right. This is a Vanity Fair article. And I noticed that there was conversation about this article. I saw it maybe about a couple months ago. A couple months ago, right around the time when the United States slash some other people started bombing at and attacking Iran. I saw this article come up again. This is from Vanity Fair. This is a Vanity Fair article. You can see Vanity Fair at the top. And it says, almost 20 years ago, Vanity Fair published America's horoscope. Was it prescient? Okay. And then it says, because this article is from January 23rd, 2026. Let me make it a little bit bigger so everyone can see. This is January 23rd, 2026. Okay, so Vanity Fair brought this up again. Okay. Social media users are latching on to the ominous accuracy of Michael Luton's horoscope. And horoscope is just pretty much when you're talking about the chart. Horoscope just is the astrological word when we're talking about the astrology chart. Okay. Social media users are latching on to the ominous accuracy of Michael Luton's horoscope about the United States, published in this magazine's January 2007 issue. Read it and judge for yourself. Okay. She said, damn, my birthday. It's all good, girl. And we're going to go to the original article. Okay, now I signed up for a bootleg free trial for Vanity Fair so we can go over this actual article. Okay. So we're going to go over this article. Oof. Okay. And this is what it looks like. So you can see this is what the article had originally looked like in Vanity Fair here. Let's get into it. Special alert, horoscope, USA, January 2007. So this is brought up from the archives. Okay. A planetary configuration not seen since 1776 is coming our way, heralding chaos, revolution, and rebirth. Michael Luton guides you through the coming storm. Okay. And Michael Luton was the resident astrologer for the magazine Vanity Fair. Okay. He was the resident astrologer for Vanity Fair. Hey, Isis. So when people are out here, or when society tells you this is woo-woo, this ain't real, we need to stay in, in this realm, don't do that. You're weirdo people, and they want to pigeonhole you because of various things that you investigate or practice. Okay, and astrology is not a belief system. There is no praying to anyone. This is not a belief system. Astrology is not a faith. Astrology is a study of cycles and how these planetary cycles match up with history. Okay? All right. All alone and more paranoid by the day, President George Bush is getting it from all sides. He can't trust anybody, not even his mother. That kind of sounds like someone now. His detractors blame him for the state of the world. Kind of sounds like someone right now. Okay, girl, hurry up and log in. Hurry up and log in, girl. Some say the end is near. Most of us just want the dollar to go back up. Oh, look, we want the dollar to go back up. This is from 2007. This is an article from 2007. And America to go back to the good old days. Astrologers can explain Bush's predicament by saying that he's a Cancer and that in coming years, Cancers will be challenged to change their whole worldview. So will America. For nations, like people, have horoscopes, okay? And that is absolutely true. If you know when a country or a city was founded or established, or when a state was admitted to the United States, you can draw up a chart, Okay. And California was getting that work last year with them fires because California was experiencing a Pluto return. Okay. The state of California was experiencing a Pluto return. And the state of California also had, as far as California's charts, Mars was in Cancer, which was we were seeing a lot of those wildfires, those fires early last year. Okay. We just looking through the history. All right. America, which was born on July 4th, 1776, is a Cancer nation. Cancer is the sign of fertility, and America sees herself as the world's nurturing mother. But because of the hostile presence of Mars and Uranus, okay, in our solar 12th house, we're the kind of nurturer that can bomb the hell out of the country. Okay. Now, what I'm talking about this year, later on this year in July, Mars and Uranus will be conjunct in Gemini. It's part of the United States birth chart. Okay. So this is that 1776, this World War II energy, this Civil War energy. It is resurfacing. Okay. We're the kind of nurturer that can bomb the hell out of a country one day and send sandwiches and coffee the next. Is that not the United States? Is that not the United States? Uh-huh. Be sure to like the video. That makes the rest of the world love us and hate us. Security and home are primal drives of this sign. Cancer, the home, nurturing, um, Cancer themes of home, family, right? Security and home are primal drives of this sign, sometimes to the point of xenophobia. Looking at you, United States. When the early settlers arrived, they took one look around and said to the, I'm going to say Native Americans, what a gorgeous place you've got here. Get out. Is that not America? Is that not America? Colonizing country, similar to England, similar to Spain, similar to Portugal, similar to all these other countries that, especially when they were colonizing Africa, the continent of Africa. These various islands, the Canary Islands and all these, because we got the Marshall Islands. We got this other island nation out there in Asia. I can't even think of the name of it. Saipan, I think is what it's called. Looks very interesting. I didn't even know we had Saipan. We got Saipan. We got the Marshall Islands. We completely got rid of the royalty in Hawaii and colonized Hawaii, took Hawaii as our own. Same for Puerto Rico. The United States bought the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, because the U.S. Virgin Islands had like 7 different quote unquote owners before the United States bought them. Is this not the United States? If anyone tells you the essence of the American dream is liberty and freedom, don't kid yourself. It's property, taxes, and mortgage rates. Are we ruthless imperialists doomed to be brought down by our degenerate culture? Listen, Michael Luton was out here reading the United States for filth. Right, Guam. Guam. Michael Luton was out here reading the United States for filth. Go back to my the USA chart video where I broke down the most popular chart that's used for the foundation of the United States, which is the Sibley chart. July 4th, 1776 at 5:10 p.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's the Sibley chart. Go back to my video on the USA chart because all this is broken down in there. Okay, that is the question Pluto's transit through the sign of Capricorn over the next 19 years will answer. Now, if you remember, I told you all that 2026 was going to be the year of a lot of changes, especially for the outer planets. Okay. Jupiter is currently in Cancer, the sign of its exaltation. We'll be transitioning to Leo. Okay. Uranus in like, what's today's date? Today is the 22nd. In like 3 days, Uranus is going to move from Taurus into Gemini. The United States will have its exact Uranus return next year in 2027. So we got Jupiter moving from Cancer into Leo, from a water sign into fire sign. Uranus moving from Taurus into Gemini, from an earth sign into an air sign. Okay. We know that Saturn and Neptune, they were both in Pisces, and they both moved into Aries. Okay, they moved into Aries this year. Pluto was in the sign of Capricorn. Pluto is one of the longest transits, right, through a sign. Pluto was in Capricorn. Pluto just moved into Aquarius, I want to say November 2024. So Pluto is in Aquarius now. This is major, major, major energy. Okay, this is why shit has been real, real, real so far this year. And we're kind of going into a little bit of a calm before shit starts stirring up again. Okay. Going back to the article, it will challenge us as never before, but it will also reveal the secret of how we need to change. Though we're a Cancer nation, the sign of Capricorn, earth sign, winter sign, ruled by Saturn, has always been strong in our horoscope and is going to get a lot stronger. We were born with Pluto in Capricorn. Okay? United States was born with Pluto in Capricorn. That's power. That's powerful relationships, transformation, even getting to the point of evil rulership, with things that stabilize, with things that are foundational, and with money. Okay. And now Pluto is coming back to the same place. The power of Pluto is so profound that it doesn't matter if you call it a planet or not, it's a killer. But oddly, it's also a healer. When you come out of a Pluto transit, you are changed forever. But during the process, you don't realize what's going on. This is about to happen to the United States as we all deal with an opposition of Pluto in the sign of Capricorn to our Cancer sun. Now, I want you all to think back to like 2007, 2008. We remember, those of us who are old enough, we remember the bailing out the banks. We remember when businesses started not being there for the customer, right? Remember when businesses were good and was just like, if you had an issue with a business, the business would fix it. They weren't trying to screw you over. They weren't trying to get over on you. Remember how all that stuff started changing like 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. And then like through the 2010s, we were just like, oh, these people just out here to scam us. They're just out here to scam us. Remember how all that was changing? Remember that time frame? Yeah, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. The last time Pluto passed over the position it holds now, and this article is from January 2007. Okay. So he was talking about the United States Pluto return that occurred. Okay. The last time Pluto passed over the position it holds now and will hold for the next 20 years was the 1760s. Mother England, once the great protector, was beginning to be the great drag. She wanted payback for all the protection she provided. The colonists, exhibiting the traits of a budding Cancer nation, came to resent their mother's hold on them, and so the United States of America was born. Something similar is happening again now. Okay. So he was talking about when he says something similar is happening again now, he was talking about 2007, 2008, the Pluto return. Okay. This time, however, it's the American government that is putting the squeeze on people. Is that not what we are experiencing today? Okay, baby, because the parallels are paralleling. The parallels are paralleling. Hmm. They're paralleling. Um, okay. While lots of us will probably be nervous wrecks during the two turbulent decades ahead, many old hippies will joyfully embrace the revolution they quit their jobs for 40 years ago. Our dialogue with radical Islam has just begun. What is this going on? Have we not seen a return to Islamophobia since like November, December of last year? Because they want to say that, oh my goodness, Bondi Beach, what happened in Bondi Beach? Hmm. Iran. They're talking about, oh my goodness, Iran and those evil Iranian people because they want such and such, such and such. Weren't they not doing the same thing in New York City when Zohran Mamdani won to be mayor of New York City? They said he was going to institute Sharia law. Oh my God, Islamophobia. The same Islamophobia that we were dealing with. Okay. Remember the Arab Spring in 2011, 2012? If you were old enough to. This, okay. Religious radicalism will reach a crescendo. Are we not seeing that again? Was not President Trump just out here finally telling the truth to people? I mean, listen, if you had a brain, you already knew that he was not a Christian, but wasn't he out here just telling the truth to people? He's not a Christian. Mhm. Meanwhile, Capricorn always indicates power and big business. And what is America about if not that? Corporate control of government will increase. Do we not remember the presidential inauguration of 2025 with Pluto in Aquarius conjunct the sun, which was tech bro, corporate, mhm, corporate control? But it was Pluto's presence in Capricorn that sparked the fight for freedom 230 years ago, as it will again. Remember, this article is from 2007. Okay. So Pluto in Capricorn was going over conformity born out of fear that is dangerous. The threat of attack will be acute, and the government will be so terrified that it really won't matter who gets in 2008, conservative or liberal. The new ideologies will bleed across party lines. How long have people been saying that it's two wings of the same bird? And you hear that conversation even more now. Okay. Okay. All right. So he was going through it. Once Uranus hits Aries, however, people will rebel. The voice of Islam will grow louder. It's going to be the 1960s in spades. The more resistant to government protection, the more protection of the government will try to impose. The greatest time of upheaval will be between 2015 and 2019 when the square of Uranus and Aries to Pluto and Capricorn peaks. Then now I want to get to this part right here. Okay. Remember, this article is from 2007. Then from 2023 to 2025, the final stages of the Pluto return and the Capricorn effect will reach a climax. Some astrologers believe that an empire lasts no longer than one Pluto cycle, and by 2025, hours will be played out. Make no mistake about it. The imperialism America being the top dog country, right? After World War II, we dropped not one but two atomic bombs on Japan, and we let the world know, listen, you don't know what we got up our sleeve, but we will blow your ass away. And the world, I don't want to say fell in line, but acquiesced, okay? England, Britain was no longer the dominant quote unquote ruler of this planet. England was. England lost that to the United States. England lost that to the United States. The United States has, been growing and growing and doing all these things. And, our currency is quote unquote the reserve currency for the world. You can go anywhere and spend American dollars. They're accepted, but now things are changing. Look at BRICS, the African Union that's trying to get together. Now with this whole Iran war, that's not a war, that's going to be over, but that's still going because there's a blockade and no blockade. And there's a ceasefire, no ceasefire, but talks, and the other country still bombing Lebanon while things are supposed to be quiet. This event with the Strait of Hormuz being blocked. Iran and some of these other countries, which is being supported by China and Russia, allegedly, starting to say, hey, we'll do these oil deals in Chinese yuan, in Chinese money. The value of the United States dollar has been decreasing. Our money buys less while costs keep rising. Okay. Again, this article, which was written in January 2007, says, and by 2025 hours, the United States will be played out. Will be played out. Okay. The period of turmoil that lies before us is a necessary step in the evolution of this country that will result in a reworking of the Constitution in the last half of the 2020s. Okay, so where am I at? I'm right here. So those of us who are astrologers or whatnot, we are looking into, there's a possibility of the Constitution being reworked or constitutional amendments coming up in the later half, maybe like 2026, 2027, 2028. So we are looking into that. Especially with Pluto in Aquarius, right? Change, transformation, power struggles, technology, all these different things. We are looking into that. So, hearing more and more conversations now about, the 25th Amendment possibly being invoked. I don't know. I haven't really looked into that aspect, but overall, we are looking into, okay, this Uranus transit, okay, Pluto's in Aquarius. We're looking at this stuff because it's a good possibility that things get a little bit more violent. It's a possibility that things get a little bit more violent for us, for the United States, whether that means abroad or here in the country, I don't know. Going into, 2028 with things finally starting to filter out and smooth out in 2028, 2029. Okay. It will mark the rebirth of the United States as a more global nation, a member of the world, if not its leader. Okay. And from what the conversations that I'm seeing, the conversations that I'm having, the new rising power is going to be in the East, aka probably China. It's possible that China will be, quote unquote, the global leader of the world after the United States. It is possible that there's a reworking of things in the United States. There is a possibility of secession or clusters of things going on in the United States, we still have to see what's going on. Okay. This is an affront to our cancer nation's cherished ideas about wealth, security, and supremacy. Luckily for us, the horoscope of the USA is strongly influenced by Venus and Jupiter, so we'll never go totally broke or hungry. America's a fabulous place to live, but we've gotten fat and we've gotten lazy. So don't blame anyone in Washington for this crisis. A country gets the leaders it deserves. And when we're ready to rise from the ruins of empire, we will find the leaders to help us do so. It will happen, but not in 2008. We have to go through the Pluto transit first. This article again was from January 2007. You can see it there up on the screen. But things are mm, mm, things are things are real interesting. Things are real interesting. And let me bring up the chart real quick so everybody can look. Let me bring up some charts. Let me see. That's not there. Let me open up the chart. Let me bring up the chart because y'all just you need to see. You need to see. Where is it at? Down here. Okay, declaration chart. No. Okay. You need to see. Okay. So that was that article, and I think it's very telling, and I think we have seen things. And again, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened here in the United States, and it's what we are still going through now. Okay. This is the US declaration chart. Okay, let me bring myself back up because I can stay down here. Okay, let me bring myself back up. Okay. This is the declaration chart. Okay, we see that, and let me go here. All right. So we can see here. Okay, I'm up here at the 8th house. The United States is a sun in Cancer. Sun in Cancer. We are a Cancer sun country. Cancer sun country. Okay. Jupiter is in Cancer here in the 8th house. So the United States is going through its Jupiter return right now. Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Okay, so Jupiter really likes being in Cancer. Okay, Jupiter, expansion, right? We're talking about expansion, making things more. Jupiter in Cancer, Cancer, the sign of home. Have we not been imperialistic? Have we not gone out there doing shit to other countries? And notice it's here in the 8th house. The 8th house, the house of debt, taxes, inheritance, other people's shit. The United States, this is what we do. This is what we do. And then what the article say? United States was experiencing a Pluto return. Okay, it's because the United States was made. If you go down to the second house, okay, right here, we can see that. We can see that. Okay. The United States was founded when Pluto was at 27 degrees of Capricorn, opposite Mercury here in Cancer. Okay. So we talk a good game. We talk a good game and say, yes, the United States can be your home. Yes, please come. Here we welcome people from all over the world. First, we were a melting pot, then we were like a salad, then we were all these different things. And then the xenophobia came, the imperialism, the everything. So what we say here, what we tell people about this being a house, a home, okay? And remember, Mercury is also, when we're talking about commerce, business, okay? Mercury is that. Remember, go back to my video of the healthcare system in the United States is not founded on actually helping, it's founded on being a business. Go back to that video, I think from November of last year. Mercury, Hermes, okay, the god of commerce, the god of movement, okay? Remember, go back to that. Okay. It's no shock and surprise that Hermes, the purse company, right? Hermes is super expensive purses, okay, with Hermes, Mercury. And remember that the word purse was the financial bag for a country. It wasn't necessarily ladies' accessories. The financial purse, who had the keys to the purse for a country, right? Remember that? Hermes being a purse. All of this shit is aligned, okay? All of this shit is aligned. So we tell people things. The United States, quote unquote, steals from its residents, from its citizens via taxes, big business, and stuff like that. And this was absolutely opposite this. So we talk a good game, we say all these things that are not true, right? And then the struggle, the seesaw of that, as far as being opposed to Pluto in Capricorn down here. But now now Pluto is in Aquarius. So now the whole, is this going to be energy for change? We have the AI influence, business with AI. The AI bubble is real. Listen. Michael Luton was not wrong. I think he passed in 2024. So he didn't get to see things now, but he did pass in 2024. But I'm pretty sure he was just like, damn, I didn't want to be right, but was right. He was right. Okay. And we can see here, okay, talking about Mercury, Uranus. Okay. So the United States was founded with Uranus at 8 degrees of Gemini in the 7th house. Mars at 21 degrees of Gemini. Okay. And this is a separating aspect, which means this is not a conjunction because Mars is the faster moving planet as opposed to Uranus. So they've already separated. But when Mars was coming through here, you had the fighting of the American Revolution. Yeah. When Mars started applying to Uranus. Okay. So let's go now. Let's click the chart now because I want you all to see. Click the chart for now. Okay, so we can see that right now. Okay, we can see that Uranus is at 29 degrees of Taurus. The critical degree, the anaretic degree, the degree of, okay, shit be getting real. Uranus is moving into Gemini in a few days. Let's look together. Okay. And then once Uranus enters into Gemini, we are going to see it. Uranus is going to be there for a while. So let's see. Okay. 23rd, 24th, April 25th, April 26th, Sunday. Uranus will finally enter Gemini, and this is the first time it will be there since World War II. Now, Mars is currently in Aries. But you better believe Mars is going to be there. So let's go to July. I think the day is July, um, I want to say July 3rd. July 2nd, July 3rd. So let's go. May, June, July. Let's go back a few days. Let's go back. Um, let's go back. Ooh. Okay, so we can see it here. We can see it here. And I'm bringing this up because everyone has to pay attention to the energies, okay? So yeah, they are going to be exact on July 3rd, 2026 is when these two will be it will be an exact conjunction. Okay, but we're going to start feeling this. We're going to start feeling this. I want to say from probably about that's June. Ooh, not June 17th. We're going to start feeling this probably the week of like June 19th. We're going to start seeing this Mars applying to, and applying just means one planet is moving to the other one. So we're going to start feeling that around then. But we won't have the exact until the exact return of Uranus to 8 degrees until next year. So let me go until next year. Yeah. So let me see. Let me go days. So, okay, let's go. 1, 2. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. Okay, July. Oh, there it is. So it won't be so July 6th. So like July 4th, July 6th, but we see that exact 8 degrees July 6th next year. Uh-huh. And then I think it's 2028 when Mars returns to that position. So let me see. Let me see. Is it 2028? Let's see. Because next year Mars will be in Virgo. So yes. Okay. So we don't get that until 2028. So this year, next year, and 2028, it's possible that the United States will be seeing a lot of action. Okay. Absolutely possible because they are going to be meeting up again. So everyone just please pay attention. Another thing that's going to be interesting is that come next year. So this is going to we're going to have Pluto is going to be trining this. What is a trine? A trine is it's an aspect that things just flow easier. It's not a harsh aspect, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So really next year is when, yeah, Pluto trining Pluto, the planet of change, transformation, um, rebirth, death, those types of things, being in a harmonious energy aspect with Uranus, the planet of things that are sudden, rebellion, freedom, um, things that move and shake, things that come out of nowhere, lightning. It's gonna be pretty interesting. And that is going to be, let me see, that is going to be, let me do this. Let me go back to next year. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. So, and let me just remove this inside chart. And remove. So yeah. So we can see it. We see, you see this trine? So this with a Blue triangle, this blue line, trine. So we see this. This listen, listen. It is going to be so we are in for some interesting things happening next year. We are into some for some interesting things next year. Okay? Um let me see. We are in for some interesting things coming next year. Yes, China is very much technologically um advanced. Yeah. Let me see what y'all are talking about here in the chat. Kevin says, Kevin says, now keep in mind this article was written before Obama was even president. This was all set in place even back then. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. So, yeah. Yeah. Growing process says, I watch a lot of countries. I watch a lot of Eastern countries, and they're getting on the ball with BRICS. Trump has single-handedly broken trust with our allies. What did I tell you all? What did I tell you all with the winter solstice chart? Remember, I did that. That was December last year, right? I was still in Cancun when I did the video. What did I tell you then? Then, when we looked at the spring equinox ingress chart, what did I tell you all? But when we had remember when we had our reading, was it earlier this month or late last month about the war, the war and things like that, how we are alienating our allies, we are leaving our allies. These countries are just like, "No, I'm not jumping in, at least right now." Because it is on the table for World War III, just astrologically with this energy, okay? Just astrologically. Um, or civil war. Or civil war. We don't know. Um, do I want either of those to happen? No. We just have to see how things play out. But I told you all then, go back to that reading that we're alienating our allies. We are alienating ourselves. We're not having the allies that we used to have. Okay. Whether they want to say the R word or not, recession, we are in a recession. If the AI bubble ever hits the fan, this recession, I think Kevin asked the question then, how long is this going to be? I said it's for recovery. I said it's going to be some years. Kevin was like, oh my God, that's a depression. We are already seeing the price increases with the Strait of Hormuz being closed. The prices are jumping in the grocery stores, in the other stores, wherever you shop, Family Dollar or whatever. Because I told you all, I've been saying it for not the line from Independence Day, but how long have I been telling you all? Make sure you have money you can access and make sure that you have the resources that you need for you and your family because shit is getting weird. I've been saying it. We are starting to see this. They are already coming up with plans of how can we ration oil and energy in some Asian countries and in some European countries. It's going to be interesting. We're seeing them talk about it now with the flights, even though airlines hiking up the prices, talking about fuel, they're just doing it being greedy because airlines they have their they already have prices locked in for what they're going to pay for it years in advance. So any charging that the airlines are doing now talking about price increases, they're just being greedy because those prices for fuel are already locked in. How do I know? Because Mr. Hoodoo, he has some contacts when he worked for the US government and the FAA. So that's how I know this because he worked with people who literally, FAA. So, shit, I'm telling you all see how much gas is now. Okay. I think I saw some gas for like $6 a gallon when we were down in LA. So Q has been telling y'all. Q has been telling y'all. Okay, Q has been telling y'all. Growing process also says I thought that I wouldn't have an opinion, but in this matter, there is a lot that I can say about the way things are going. Absolutely. Uh-huh. We've been said that. Hey, Nyla. I did not know Nyla was over here. Hey girl, how you doing? Hey boo. But yeah, Q has been saying it for how fucking long have I been saying it? And I am watching these things because you better believe Mr. Hoodoo and I are making sure we got our shit together. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yep. 25 plus years ago, I read an article where an AM said they weren't concerned because in due time they would be the superpower. Listen, 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 listen. You know. So yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Growing process says, Kevin, that's right. That's why I need to get into Q's class. I have to lock in and really buckle down and protect my kids and myself with this nonsense going on. Yeah. The world is changing. The United States is changing. And listen, change is constant, but and we have yet to see how things play out. But the astrology is astrologying. The astrology is astrologying. Okay? The astrology is astrologying. And please believe that there are people, the quote unquote powers that be, or the Soros gang, or the deep state, or the New World Order, whatever you want to call it. Them people do magic and astrology. And if Michael Luton was an astrologer looking at this from 2007, talking about shit that's happening now, you better believe other astrologers and people that are hired by the powers that be, companies that be, tech bros, whatever. You better believe that they are looking at this too. All this plays hand in hand. Okay? All this plays hand in hand. Yes, and what's crazy is how fast all of this is happening. Absolutely, Kevin. Absolutely. Mhm. Yep. Yep. Mhm. Yep, 2030 is already here and no one is paying attention. Absolutely. It's going to be real interesting to see what Uranus and Gemini brings us because Uranus is shakeups, things that are sudden, things that break easily, things that move easily, quickly, things that aren't stable, as well as ideas outside of the box. In Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, so we're talking about technology, we're talking about technological advances, things like that. It's interesting to see how far this tech bro shit goes. I was just watching a video earlier today where cars after 2026 are going to have passive kill switches. Cars made after 2026 here in the United States are going to have passive kill switches. Where if you look like you might be drunk or not paying attention, they can just kill switch your car. Yes, but the United States is no longer going to be the superpower and people need to accept it. And more, it's funny because more and more, I see more and more quote unquote MAGA Republicans. And listen, nothing is wrong with being a Republican because I am very conservative in some things and I am liberal in some things, right? I believe abortion is healthcare. but I don't believe in doing all this shit for all these other people in all these other countries and not doing for your citizens first. There's no reason why veterans and things and like that should be out here, you know, homeless and shit, right? I'm very conservative on some things and I'm very liberal on some things. I'm just me. I think for myself. But seeing more and more and more calling for, the flip-flop of let me just say the flip-flopping of quote unquote Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, even though they got Joe Rogan's number, um, and even Alex Jones is quite the sight to be seen. Y'all know I'll be minding white people's business. So yeah, I will post that. I will post that about the car so you all can see. But yeah, y'all. So, I just wanted to share that article with you all. Anytime people say, when there's a conversation about astrology, is astrology divination? It can be. But astrology is pretty much history and looking at the historical cycles of what happened, what went on, right? And then just, noting those observations. Okay, noting those observations. But we are definitely in for some interesting times. Some interesting times. The technology is definitely moving forward. Sorry, people, if you use LinkedIn, LinkedIn is spying on your computer. I got rid of LinkedIn like 3 years ago. I don't even use LinkedIn. I deleted my accounts in LinkedIn and I just got rid of LinkedIn is spying on your. Listen, we're in the technological age. We got Waymo and shit out here. We got the AI, we have all these technological advances and stuff, how that's changing the world. But understand, the themes of rebellion and freedom and how that looks are absolutely here on the stage, on the world stage, especially as it pertains to us here in the United States. Okay, here in the United States. So, yeah, I hope that this gave you something to think about because things are definitely interesting and I don't know if it's just rebellion or if it's just people just doing shit, but the warehouse fires, that man in that Kimberly Clark warehouse fire. Oh baby, I got the astrological tea on that because I definitely look at the chart for that. So I don't know if we're starting to get into the rungs of rebellion, people starting to fight back, people as in United States citizens. Who was it? Sam Altman. Somebody was throwing a Molotov cocktail at his house in San Francisco. AI tech bro. Yeah, just a lot. Just a lot. Again, I don't know if this is the beginning of revolution or not. Um, I'm starting to see some white people out here taking up arms, fighting their fellow white racists on behalf of black people and other people. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see a lot of conversation that's about rebellion, freedom. People out here talking about they're not paying taxes because it's taxation without representation. I want you all to just go like online and see like some of the conversations and think about that language as it pertains to um some of the talking points that probably was there for the American Revolution. Okay, tired of this shit. Okay, I want you to, whenever you're online, and it really depends on what spaces you're in. Of course, algorithms show you more of what you look at, but I'm all through these spaces. I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Threads, I'm on Reddit. And I'm seeing a lot of conversations. Even the nuclear option. I don't know if you all heard this past weekend that the president was kicked out of an important meeting because he was trying to go for nuclear codes. He was trying to go for nuclear codes, possibly to do whatever with nuclear power. So I want you all to make sure that you are listening to and paying attention to conversations and how a lot of those conversations are aligning with, is this World War III, nuclear bombardment, um, mutually assured destruction. We need revolution. We need to get rid of these people because they're not serving us. The power class. I want you to pay attention to these conversations. Pay attention to these conversations. Mhm. Listen, and the thing about it is when people in a country are ready for revolution, okay? Because I want you all to think about like the French Revolution. Okay, the French Revolution, Marie Antoinette let them eat cake, then people ain't had no food. They said, what the fuck is going on? Okay. Revolution means it may be painful, but people have to fight. People have to fight. Okay? People have to fight. And fighting for something that you believe in is not pretty and it's not easy to do. And it's not going to be, you can't fight like these lame ass no kings protests, okay? With the white people out there dancing around in frog suits. That's not fight. Baby, that's a damn parade. People have to be willing to go to jail and or die or whatever for what they believe in for real revolution and change. Real revolution and change is not pretty. It's not fun. Okay. So keep all these things in mind. I mean, we don't know, Kevin. We don't know if we're going to get World War III. Listen, I don't want World War III. I don't want any type of civil war. And I'm not saying that those are going to happen. What I'm saying is that the same astrological energies as it pertains to the United States with World War II, the Civil War, and the American Revolution are on our doorstep. So historically, the United States has had something going on 3 times now with these same astrological energies. So, yeah. So it's going to be very, very interesting. People are talking about Epstein and stuff again, and just realizing, realizing people are finally waking up and realizing it's a bunch of fuck shit going on globally. Listen, I'm just waiting for people to start the revolution because me as a spiritual worker, if spirit tells me that someone is actually fighting for the good of the people, I will absolutely do spiritual work to protect them. I'm waiting for whatever revolution to start while I'm still here alive so I can do my spiritual part, as well as help you all in the community. So, all right, y'all. So I'm going to go because I have some errands I have to run in an hour, but I love y'all. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Like I said, my travel is ramping up again. I'm on a flight tomorrow. Um, I'm going to try and work on some video uploads that I can do for you all. I'm gonna try because, like I said, I have an almost 5-hour flight tomorrow. Lord knows, I'm gonna be tired. I'm gonna do my best, but and I was not planning on going out of town this week. This is really last minute. Literally just bought the tickets like 2 days ago for me to go out of town. So this is absolutely last minute for me. I was not planning on going out of town this week, but I have to. Um, but and I meant to be live with y'all yesterday. I had a 5-hour driving ordeal between here in Oakland, going to the dentist and coming back home. I left my house at like 12 something. I didn't get back home until like 5:30 yesterday. By the time I got home, I was starving and hungry, and I literally ate and like went to bed. So, with that being said, I haven't forgotten about y'all. Thank y'all for still being here. Thank y'all for still subscribing and fucking hard with me. I love y'all. I hope to get something pre-recorded for you all. If not, just know that it's not on purpose. I'm just right now I'm busy. I got family shit going on. So I got family shit going on. So that's where I'm off to this weekend. So I love y'all. I love y'all very, very much. All right. I love y'all very, very much. I'm gonna see y'all on the flip side.